So to wrap it up the day, guys, while we wait for the news, for the update, let's try to revisit a video that I did a couple of days ago, or a little bit more than that. Let's try to hit the maximum service ceiling of the 106, but now with the buffet engine, right? We're gonna give it the best possible scenario over here. We're gonna deploy our fuel tanks, and we're gonna, just jettison everything. And we're gonna even use all of the ammunition so that we are as light as possible. If you saw the last video, before the buff, this aircraft wasn't able to actually perform what it was advertised in real life that it could, which is a service ceiling of 17,000 meters. So yeah, basically service ceiling, you can imagine that it's when it's basically the ceiling of the vehicle, but it has a little bit more to go, right? In civil aviation, for example, we can consider it 100 feet per minute of a climb, and it's the service ceiling. It's the maximum climb possible at that altitude. It means that that altitude is the service ceiling, right? Military aviation, I think it's a little bit different, but still. So you can already see that the aircraft is much better. We tested the performance. I mean, we are maintaining 20-something degrees over here, so 26, 27 degrees climb, maintaining the Mach 1.1, right? So it's a much, much faster aircraft than before. It's producing a lot more thrust, and I have a feeling that it's gonna be a lot better for us to actually do this. We're gonna try to do kind of a curved climb over here, trying to maintain the speed, because without speed, I basically cannot do anything, right? Even if I climb very well, I need to maintain the 17,000 meters while I'm there, right? Because as you know, in the last video, we could go to the 17 and level flight, but the aircraft couldn't make it, basically, right? He wouldn't be able to maintain the altitude with enough speed to keep climbing, right? So that's something else. So we are already at 11,000. We are still climbing very fast, way better than before, way better. But as you can see, the IAS, the indicated airspeed, is going down rapidly, right? So we need to look out for that. That is going to be the main factor for us to actually do this or not, right? So I'm going to maintain kind of a 10-degree nose over here. The aircraft is pretty slow already. So we're going to have to wait a little bit to see if we can actually do this normally. If it doesn't work, of course, we're going to try to do a zoom climb and then try to maintain the altitude, right? Just like we did before. But yeah, this is a particularly fast aircraft that I think is going to be one of the best interceptors at these BRs, right? So we're just going to maintain it. Yeah, it's bringing some dangerously low airspeeds already. So we're going to do this a little bit slower. Try to get a little bit of speed, maybe. No, we're not able to get any speed. Mach number is, of course, maintaining itself because we are getting to higher and higher altitudes, but yeah, it feels that the aircraft has a lot less thrust already. A lot less. 14,000. I mean, I'm in a pretty good shape over here, but I'm gonna have to do this final step up very slowly. My objective again is to maintain a level flight at 17,000 meters and be able to climb a little bit, maybe, just to prove that it's the service ceiling, right? So 3,000 meters. We're gonna wait a little bit here. As you can see, we are very stable, but it feels that the aircraft is a little bit, wobbly, I would say, right? So yeah, it's gonna take a while, boys. We're gonna try to maintain a good enough speed to maintain here, but I'm losing a lot of speed, I gotta say. I'm losing a lot of speed. And the problem, of course, the lower the airspeed that I have, the higher the nose I have to put on this thing, and then it's a cycle, right? I will lose more speed and it will become worse and worse and worse. So I have a feeling that it's gonna be barely doable. Okay, barely doable. Here we will have kind of a thing. Maybe the aircraft will level itself out. We're in the return to battlefield. We're still 2,000 meters and some more a way to go, right? We might be able to just... Let me try to get a little bit of speed here to help it out. We're gonna try to level the aircraft out and try to see if I can maintain an acceleration. And just like before, guys, in the other video, I have to be careful with overheating the engines. These engines were overheating a lot in the last video. So I'm maintaining an acceleration, which is great. We're gonna get a little bit of speed, and then we're gonna start climbing again. It's a beautiful aircraft, isn't it? I mean, yeah. This is where you should be flying, right? 14,000 meters. I'm still getting speed, guys. It's taking a long time to do this. So I'm gonna still try to see how much speed I can do with this. This will help immensely to try to maintain the 17,000. So we're gonna start climbing. I was still getting speed, I gotta say, but I just decided to start climbing very slowly to not lose that speed that I got. Remember, guys, I'm at Mach 1.44, which is a pretty good speed, but yeah, 1,500 kilometers per hour, right? But the indicated one is 600, right? Because we are so high. So, yeah, of course. So it's a bit problematic still. So we're gonna do a step climb maybe, but it might actually work. I'm at 15,000 right now. It's funny that it decreased the amount of heat that these engines were producing, man, because I couldn't get them to go down in temperature at all, right? It would be already at 110 degrees and it would be overheating. So that's great. We are almost at 16,000. We're maintaining a good speed. And we're almost there. I gotta say, guys, I don't think it's gonna work. I'm losing speed even if I'm leveled at 16,000. So I'm gonna do kind of a Hail Mary over here to just try to climb and not stall it out and try to maintain the speed. I don't think it's gonna work, but yeah. So I don't think it's possible per normal ways, right? Look at this, guys. I'm with no missiles. I'm with nothing in the aircraft. I mean, minimum fuel and everything. Look at this. I'm barely maintaining my speed at 16,300, right? So honestly, I don't think it's possible to reach that service ceiling. Maybe with the zoom climb. To be honest, I'm not gonna try with the zoom climb. I don't want this video to be too long, but yeah, it's still not what the internet says it's the service ceiling. Of course, there are multiple things that you can consider in here. Even that the internet is wrong, and it might as well be, right? But yeah, so I don't know. The buff improved by a lot, right? You can do a lot more, but it's still not as good as I thought it would be, personally, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong, right? But it's kind of funny. So I don't know, guys. Let's wrap it up the video, to be honest, because it's a little bit impossible to do this in the normal ways without using. You know, if you use the zoom climbs, you can get to more. Of course, you can get even to 20,000 meters. But of course, you need to maintain the 17,000 to be considered a service ceiling, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Most sources claim it is 17. If you have any other sources, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's lower than that. Maybe this version, because it has the gun, it cannot do that because it is an aircraft that it's a little bit heavier, right? So, I don't know. You tell me in the comments, but unfortunately, he is not able to get to the 17. Fortunately, you're not going to use that in combat. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. And I see you guys during the week. See you guys. Bye.